In this video, I will demonstrate how to make walnut lotion. When making lotion, surfaces should be sanitized to reduce bacterial and fungal growth in the resulting lotion. Wear latex or nitrile gloves, cover your hair, wear clean clothes, and work in a clean area. The work surface should be smooth and non-porous. To sanitize surfaces, spray with 70% rubbing alcohol and wipe dry with clean paper towels or allow to evaporate. Here the lotion bottles are being sanitized 1 day prior to making lotion. Spray alcohol into the mouth of each bottle, making sure all interior surfaces are coated. Then shake out the excess alcohol and invert on a sanitized drying rack to dry overnight. The caps should first be opened and then submerged in alcohol, and then have the excess alcohol shaken out. 70% rubbing alcohol does not dry quickly. If unsure about the number of bottles needed, prepare extra now since sanitizing them during lotion making is difficult. Lotions are created by combining an oil phase and a water phase in the presence of an emulsifier. It is similar to making vinaigrette salad dressing and including mustard or egg yolk as an emulsifier. In this recipe, the emulsifier is BTMS 50 conditioning emulsifier, which comes in small waxy pellets. The oil phase consists of walnut oil, stearic acid, which acts as a thickener, vitamin E oil, which acts as an antioxidant, preventing the oil from going rancid, and the BTMS 50. The water phase is simply distilled water. Another phase, often called the cool-down phase, consists of a preservative, in this case optifen, which inhibits microbial growth in the finished product. It would be a good idea to sanitize the exterior of these containers before weighing out ingredients. During the weighing of ingredients, I use lightweight containers since my balance has a maximum capacity of 200 grams. I first measure out the oil phase ingredients, starting with the vitamin E oil. Because this oil is so viscous, I weigh it directly into the container used later for heating the oil phase. This container is a 500 milliliter wide mouth polypropylene ID code 5 reagent bottle. Polypropylene can withstand temperatures of about 250 degrees Fahrenheit for short periods. After the balance is taired, the vitamin E oil is added slowly. If you overshoot the target weight, it will be hard to remove the extra since this oil is so thick. Now the remaining oil phase ingredients are weighed out, starting with the dry ingredients and finishing with the walnut oil. I use a disposable plastic drinking cup as the weighing container. First the balance is taired and the stearic acid is weighed out. I use a funnel to help transfer the powder to the heating container. Next is the BTMS 50. You can reuse the weighing container. Finally, the walnut oil is weighed out and added to the heating container. Remember to tare the balance each time you weigh. Screw on the cap loosely. Using a new weighing container, I weigh out the water phase, distilled water, in 3 batches to reach the final weight. Batches are necessary due to the low capacity of the balance. If you overshoot, use a disposable transfer pipette to remove the surplus water. For the water phase heating container, I am using a heat-proof glass measuring cup, 1 pint capacity. Cover the cup with plastic wrap. Next, the cool down phase, or preservative, is weighed out. I am weighing it directly into a polypropylene pitcher to which the hot lotion will later be added. This large container allows for spill-free stick blending later on. Cover the pitcher with plastic wrap after weighing. Lastly, get the combined weight of the water phase weighing container, water, and plastic wrap. Here, a larger capacity balance is used to accommodate the weight. Record this value, which will be referenced after the heating procedure. Next is the heating procedure. Using a microwave oven, first heat the oil phase heating container, making sure the lid is not tight. Heat for 3 bursts of 30 seconds, swirling the oil phase between bursts. All of the solids should melt and the temperature should be quite high. Here I heat it to over 260 degrees Fahrenheit, which is too hot to hold in your hand. You may want to place it on a trivet while heating the water phase. It is important that the oil phase gets very hot, because if it cools too much, it will solidify. If that happens in the heating container, you can reheat it. If you have poured it into the pitcher and it solidifies, it makes a big mess and is hard to correct. Next, heat the water phase with the plastic wrap covering the cup. Microwave for 2 minutes, which makes the cup hot, but not too hot to hold. Once hot, reweigh the container and compare the value to the previously recorded weight. If some water has evaporated, use a transfer pipette to add back distilled water to get back to the original value. In this case, no weight was lost during the heating. Also check the temperature. Here I heated it to about 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which will work well. Next, pour the hot oil phase into a sanitized polypropylene pitcher. Then pour the hot water phase into the oil phase heating container. The purpose of this is to collect the oil coating the interior surface of the container. Then pour this oily water into the pitcher. Notice that the pitcher contents turns milky white as the 2 phases combine in the presence of the emulsifier. We now have hot lotion lacking preservative. Next, using a sanitized stick blender, blend the hot lotion for about 20 seconds. Avoid sucking air into the blades since it will froth up the lotion. My stick blender is variable speed, so I use the slowest setting and use bursts to keep the blades fully submerged. Next, check the temperature of the lotion. We must make certain that the lotion is cooler than the heat limit for the preservative. If using a scent, cool down below the flash point of the scent. In the case of Optifen, we cannot exceed 176 degrees Fahrenheit or it will break down. In this case, the lotion is about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, so we are safe. If it is too hot, allow it to cool down. Next, pour the lotion into the pitcher containing the cool down phase. Again, stick blend for about 20 seconds, keeping the blades submerged. To fill the lotion bottles, first pour the lotion into a condiment bottle. I am using a 16-ounce HDPE ID Code 2 bottle, which fits all of the lotion and can withstand the heat for a few minutes. Note that if you foamed up the lotion during mixing, the bottle may not hold all of the lotion. Also, note that the lotion is still very hot, and holding this bottle can be difficult. You can let it cool a bit, but the more it cools, the thicker the lotion gets, which could complicate bottle filling. The lotion bottles I am using are PETE plastic, ID Code 1, which can handle well over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I have filled such bottles with lotion almost too hot to handle, and the bottles did not change shape in any way. Use the condiment bottle to slowly fill the lotion bottles, trying to avoid making bubbles. Place the filled bottles back into the draining rack. Cover the open lotion bottles with new cheesecloth and allow to cool to room temperature. For small 2-ounce bottles like this, cooling only takes a couple of hours. Once cooled, install the closed caps onto the bottles. Place the lotion bottles into a dark, cool place and allow to sit for a few days to fully gel and stabilize.